Many of us learn Carnatic music for several years. We learn plenty of songs, we learn varnams, we learn kritis, we learn so many interesting compositions. But still, we don't get a complete understanding of the ragam. What are the swarasthanas of the raga? Which variant of the swaras are being used? What types of gamakas are used in this ragam? Which notes can have a gamakam? Which notes should never have a gamakam? What are some of the signature phrases of the ragam? What emotion does the raga evoke? What are the different types of emotions we can evoke through different phrases? All these things need to be explored every time we learn a new raga or every time we learn a new composition. But unfortunately, many students are not taught ragas to this level of detail. They are just taught song after song after song. So by the end of 3 to 4 years, they have learned plenty of songs in plenty of ragas, but they have not understood anything about the ragam. So today we are going to talk a little about what is VoxGuru's approach towards learning ragas. What are the different layers of a raga that we need to uncover? What are the aspects about a raga that we definitely must know? Okay, so this will also be a chance for you to get a reality check of where you stand in your understanding of ragas, where are the gaps that you need to address, and how do you move forward in your journey. The first thing you need to know about a raga is which notes are included and which notes are omitted in the raga. Let's take for example raga Shankarabharanam. This contains all the 7 notes. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. Okay, so such a raga which contains all the 7 notes is called Sampurna Ragam, right? Now on the other hand, if you take a raga like Mohanam, it does not contain all the 7 swaras, right? It has only Sa Re Ga Pa Da Sa. So Sa, Re, Ga, Pa and Da. So only 5 swaras. So the notes Ma and Ni are omitted in Raga Mohanam. So every time you learn a new raga, this is the first thing you have to make note of. Which swaras are included and which swaras are omitted in the raga. Now once you are clear as to which swaras are included in the raga, the next thing you need to check is which variant of the swaras are used. Let's take an example of 2 ragas, Maya Malava Gaulai and Karahara Priya. Now both these ragas use the same swaras. Maya Malava Gaulai is also Sarigama Padanisa, Karahara Priya is also Sarigama Padanisa. Then what makes these 2 ragas so completely different? The notes of Maya Malava Gaulai are Sarigama Padanisa. The notes of Karahara Priya are Sarigama Padanisa. Now although I was saying the same swaras, the tune was totally different, isn't it? That is because of the variants. So in Maya Malava Gaulai, notice the Re and the Da. It uses the lower variant, right? But the same notes in Karahara Priya are using the higher variant. Similarly, look at the notes Ga and Ni. In Maya Malava Gaulai, it uses the higher variant, whereas Karahara Priya uses the lower variant. Okay? So this is what makes them completely different ragas in spite of having the same swaras. So for every raga that you learn, you must know which swaras are using the lower variant and which swaras are using the higher variant. Next we come to the most important part, the Gamakas. Now as you know, in Carnatic music, we don't sing all the notes in a very plain manner. Okay, so we use certain embellishments on the notes, certain oscillations, certain glides, certain vibrations. So these come under this category called Gamakas. Now singing Gamakas does not mean we oscillate each and every note. In every raga, there will be certain notes which can have Gamakas, and there will be certain notes which should not have Gamakas. And some notes will have Gamakas in certain context, not always. So this kind of information is not something you will find in a textbook, right? This is something we learn by observing each and every phrase of the composition that we learn. So a good teacher will always draw your attention to these aspects about each raga. Because if you end up singing the wrong gamaka, even if your basic notes may be perfect, if your gamakam goes wrong even on one note, you will be deviating from the raga, right? If you have decided to learn ragas, if you have decided to get into the Carnatic system and learn ragas, then you must put the effort to understand how each raga works. We should not feel that it's okay, as long as I'm singing the notes, it's fine, I can do whatever gamaka I want. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay, so you have to take the care to learn how each note works, what is happening in every phrase of the composition, what does that teach us about the raga, how do the gamakas work in each raga. So you have to be very curious to understand this perfectly. Hope you enjoyed this video and will start learning ragas in the right manner. So if you are looking for a good place to start learning ragas, please join VoxGuru's live Carnatic curriculum. So we have a very systematic program where we take you step by step into unfolding each layer of a raga, and we make sure that you are on the right track right from the beginning. So there will never be a situation where you've learned for 2-3 years and you realize that you've been on the wrong track and then you have to start again. So that will never happen, because right from day one you will be learning from the best teachers, and all these details that I discussed with you today, everything is incorporated in our curriculum. So every time you learn a new raga, we will be discussing each and every important aspect about this raga. So we'll be discussing about the notes, the variants, the gamakas, the do's and don'ts of the raga, what are some of the common mistakes that students make. And this is going to be a very practical course. So while you are singing the raga also, if you make a mistake in a particular gamakam, or if you do something wrong with any note, immediately it will be corrected. So you will also understand what you need to avoid, where you need to be a little careful so that you don't deviate from the raga bhava. So come join us by dropping us a WhatsApp message. I have shared the link in the description. So just say hi and we'll get back to you with all the details of our curriculum. So if you are a beginner, then great, you can start from scratch and develop yourself in a perfect manner right from the beginning. But even if you have learnt music before, and if you feel that you need to improve your understanding of ragas, you can definitely join us. We will give you a free voice assessment, and we'll understand how your current level is. We will give you feedback on your singing, and accordingly we will suggest which is the right grade where you can join our curriculum. So all of you are most welcome to join us. Please drop us that message right away, and let's get started with an amazing musical journey.